ESPN's Bill Connolly came out with a preseason rankings based off analytics heading into the 2022 season. Obviously, it's pretty early. These rankings will change, but as of this week, there is a top 10 that I completely disagree with, according to Bill Connolly. And he's good for ESPN, but man, this list is a little bizarre to me. Very, very bizarre to me. Ryan Clay from Dog Post here, talking about the 2022 season. Going to be talking about that a lot over the next few months, and of course, when it actually happens. Before I get into it, make sure you're clicking the link below. DAWGSTRUCTION, it's our commemorative book. You're not going to miss it. Really cool way that you can look back and remember the 2021 National Championship Georgia Bulldogs. Make sure you're checking that out. And I'm jumping in this now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go 1 to 10 and just say it, because I think some of you guys are going to laugh when you hear me say this, but I'm just going to go 1 to 10 and then we can dive into it. All right. 1, Ohio State, not crazy. 2, Georgia, not crazy. 3, Bama, not crazy. I think you could probably order those 3 however you want heading into the season. I'm cool with any order among those 3, as long as they're the top 3. Michigan at 4. Michigan was what, the second, third best? After the season's over, they were the 3rd or 4th best team in the country. They got thumped by Georgia in the Orange Bowl. They're losing their best player in Aiden Hutchinson, who's going to be a top 5 pick in the draft, among others. I don't see how this Michigan team gets better. You're gonna, you have a quarterback question between McNamara and McCarthy. I just don't see how this team's going to get better. I expect Michigan to take a step back. I don't expect Michigan to beat Ohio State next year. So Michigan at 4, concerning. Clemson, 5. The amount of times that Dean and myself have come on here and talked about Clemson is probably a little too much. But again, there's just nothing that tells me Clemson's going to be great. I mean, they were a 10-win team last year. Whatever, right? I think that their huge run is over. I mean, you get Deshaun Watson, and then you get Trevor Lawrence. That's all really special. You got your 2 titles. What do you do after that? DJ Uiagalelei had a really bad, not even a really bad year, but he wasn't them. You missed Travis Etienne. You're losing both your coordinators, and you're not working the transfer portal right. You're not working NIL right. I don't believe in what Dabo Swinney's doing right now. I think Clemson's in trouble. I don't think that they're going to be a top 5 team this coming year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're not in the top 10. Texas A&M. All right. Time to slow down the hype on Texas A&M, because listen, I could be wrong about all this, obviously. I'm on here making predictions just like other people. But I'd like to think that my predictions are pretty calculated and based off of knowledge and what I've seen. Texas A&M was not that good last year. They weren't that great. I know they beat Alabama, but they weren't that great. Calzada transfers to Auburn, or wherever he went. He went to Auburn or LSU. I don't really remember. But Calzada's gone. The guy who won you that game. The guy who played really well in that game. He's out. You don't know who the quarterback's going to be. We assume it's Haynes King. He was okay before he went down and Calzada came in. Yeah, I get it. Texas A&M's had these recruiting classes, but they haven't done anything with it. They're a perennial 8-4 team, and they have the number 1 class now. But let's not act like these freshmen are going to come in and make them a top 10 team, because a bunch of freshmen don't usually do that. I know they have the number 1 class, but it's just not what happens. And I don't know that the foundation's quite built there at Texas A&M. 2 years from now, different story. 7, Oklahoma. I think there's going to be a lot of shakeups in college football, and I don't think those top 10 teams are necessarily going to be the teams that they've been the last few years. Oklahoma, Michigan, Clemson. Recency bias is getting to us, obviously, because Oklahoma, you got new head coach Brett Venables, who I'm not completely sold on yet as a head coach over there. You lose both your quarterbacks. You lose other talent. There's a lot of rebuilding to be done in Oklahoma. Why do we think that a rebuilding Oklahoma is going to be number 7? I don't get it. I really hope I'm right about a lot of this stuff. I really do. Notre Dame, you're losing your best player, but I think I can see them being top 10. I mean, their path is always pretty simple. Notre Dame at 8. That's where they have it. I know that they really believe in their new coach. I'm blanking on his name, but he was the defensive coordinator, younger guy. They believe in him. If you saw the reaction, if you've heard what I've heard, this is the funniest one. Tennessee at 9. Whew. Oh, man. I don't think Tennessee is going to be a top 10 team. I don't even know if they're going to be number 2 in the East. I'm actually talking about this in a video that will drop tomorrow, so I'm going to save my argument there. But Hooker's good. He's not great. Tennessee is going to get better, but top 10, not sold. Wisconsin at 10. I'm not hating on this take as much as some of the others because that's something that they do. They're a good program. I could see that. But look, you go back. This list is premature, right? But I look at some of these teams, and I just don't know if I believe in Clemson, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma, and Tennessee as top 10 teams. No way all 4 of them end up at top 10. But when you look at Ohio State, you got C.J. Stroud, Jackson Smith-Njigba. They always come back. They always I really hope I pronounced it right. And Njigba, hell of a player, regardless of what his name is. They always got talent coming in, just like Georgia and Alabama. Ohio State's going to be tough to beat. Georgia's going to be no joke either. You have your national championship winning quarterback coming back, tons of starters coming back, mostly on the offense. You got the talent behind those guys on defense. You got Jalen Carter, Keely Ringo, guys like that. I mean, and then Alabama, 2 of the best players in the country, Bryce Young and Will Anderson. They're both coming back. Bryce Young is probably the best player in college football heading into next year. He's that good. It's these 3 teams and then everyone else. It is Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama, everyone else. And there's an argument that it's Georgia, Alabama, and everyone else. But Ohio State's up there with them because they've consistently done it. Ryan Day's a good coach. I expect those to be the top 3 teams in college football. And, yeah, I pretty much expect them all to make the playoff as of now. Nothing's telling me otherwise. But, guys, this list is ridiculous to me. I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Clemson will not be a top 5 team. Michigan's not going to be a top 5 team. I'm saying it right now. I don't know about the second half of this list. Tennessee in the top 10, that's a head scratcher as I actually scratch my head because I had an itch. All right, guys, that's it for me. Dawgpost.com. Tell me what you think about this list because I'm not a fan.